Morning class. Today we are going to be learning about our weather, and we are going to be today. So we're going to be learning about our weather, how the rain comes out of the clouds, right? So let's um let's. Can anybody answer that question? What is a cloud? Well, cloud is a large collection of very tiny droplets of water or ice crystals. The droplets are so small and light that they can float in the air, right? And then how are clouds formed? Well, clouds are formed when all air contains water, but near the ground is usually in the form of invisible gas called water vapor, right? When warm air rises, it expands and it's cool. So cool air can't hold as much water vapor as warm air. So some of the vapor condense onto tiny pieces of dust that are floating in the air and forms into a tiny droplet each around each dust. And so when billions of these droplets come together, they become a visible cloud. Wow, that's pretty cool, huh? That's a fun fact. Wow. A simple question I want to ask you guys that we're going to be doing a fun experiment. And I think you guys will enjoy this experiment and it will help you to understand and demonstrate why rain comes down from a cloud. So, simple question. What will happen if we make a cloud with shaving cream on top of the water and sprinkle food coloring on top of it? What do you guys think will happen? Can anybody tell me? Do you think the cloud would turn completely blue? Do you think the cloud will just rain? Or do you think the cloud will sink into the water? What do you guys think will happen? So in your rain observation sheet, you guys are going to be writing. First, you guys are going to discuss this with your partner, and then you guys are going to be writing this down on Make Your Rain Record sheet. So you guys will have 5 minutes discussing your hypothesis. What will happen if you use shaving cream for a cloud and sprinkle on top of water, food coloring on top of the water? What do you guys think will happen? So let's write down your hypothesis, okay? All right. And then I, once we do that, you guys are going to get the chance to observe a rainy day in the classroom. So once we begin, I am now say you guys done your hypothesis. I am going to show you guys and model you guys how to do the experiment. So who is ready? So the first step, you're going to need a clear glass, um, which, right, a clear glass or plastic or glass. I'm going to use plastic. Then you're going to need shaving cream. You're going to need food coloring and you're going to need water, okay? So the first step is you're going to put some water in your glass. So let's put some water in the glass. That is your first step. All right. You're going to fill it all the way to the top of your, well, cup. Secondly, second step, you are going to put your clouds, which remember, shaving cream represents the clouds, okay? All right. Now again, we wrote down our hypothesis and now we're going to, once once I put the shaving cream into the water, we're going to see and analyze if the shaving cream sinks through the water, because that was one of our questions, right? Will it sink through the water? Let's find out. It sure does not sink through the water, right? Wow. I thought it would sink through the water. I honestly did think, but I guess it didn't. So I was wrong on that, right? Now, I want you guys to know that when the water is too heavy for the clouds to hold, that's when it begins to rain. So now, we did our second step. We put the shaving cream into the cup. Now, our third step, we are going to put our blue droplets onto our cloud. And now we're going to see if the droplets make the cloud completely blue or it just makes it rain. Now we'll see. Now you're going to put 5 droplets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're just going to observe and we're going to analyze to see if it turns completely blue, the cloud, or it's just going to make it rain, right? So that's our last step. We observe, wait and watch what happens. Oh, there goes a droplet. Ah, do you see that? So the rain, it just drops. So that's what it is. When the water is too heavy for the clouds to hold, it begins to rain. How amazing is that? Look at that. It's just drops. So our shaving cream is the cloud. Our food coloring is the raindrops, is the rain. And it didn't, so completely, our hypothesis, I thought the shaving cream will sink through the water, which I was wrong. It did not, so it just hold. Now, I thought too that it might just take a long time for the food coloring drops to come down, and it did not. Look at that. That is awesome. So now you guys are going to write down what you guys saw and discuss it with your partner. Now, as we see, and one fact, clouds are formed when um, when water evaporates into the air as vapor. When it reaches cold air higher up, the vapor turns back into droplets of water. So when clouds get so full of water, droplets that they can't hold anymore, the water falls back into the ground as rain. How awesome is that? So now, since you guys are going, that is our experiment, and it's awesome, right? So you guys have to answer the question. What will happen if we make a cloud with shaving cream on top of the water and sprinkle food coloring on top of it? What? So now you guys are going to discuss with your partner um, about um, your hypothesis, if it came true or not true, right? You guys are going to write that down on your record sheet, rain record sheet. Then you guys are also going to draw. Students will also draw and write about the observation, and then so yeah. So this is my experiment. This is for kindergarten. I used the weather and climate, and I used KESS2-1, which uses your observation of local weather conditions to describe patterns over time. I also use ask questions to obtain information about the purpose of weather forecasting to prepare and respond to observed weather. Right, so I also, that is perfect. My experiment. Now for my assessments that I will be using for my students, I will be observing students as they complete the activity to see if they understand the process. I'll also be asking questions what each step represents. For example, what is the shaving cream? And what is the food coloring represent? I will also be also for the end of the experiment. I have the children. I will have the students do the experiment for me by step as well with their partner, and I will be asking them questions. Um, Example: what does the cloud represent? What is the food coloring represent? And so the children learn what is a cloud. The children were able to learn that a cloud is a large collection of very tiny droplets of water or ice crystals. That droplets are so small and light that they can float in the air. So that's one of the vocabulary words that the children learn is what is a cloud. This is my experiment for my future kindergarten classroom. Thank you. I hope you enjoy, and it was really fun doing it. Thank you.